Story 1. I would do anything for him. Since he has basically cured my depression, I will also live for him. Story 2. He is very overweight and lazy, but I love him very much. I am always happy to see his face and give him belly rubs. Story 3. My cat nearly died last month. Thank goodness the veterinarian managed to save her, but it was horrendous. Just the couple of days she was out, the house felt like a hole had been ripped out of my life. So yes, I like my cat. Story 4. I love my cat so much. She is lazy and greedy, but also funny at times when she has what I call her crazy hour, where she runs around, chases her tail, and jumps like crazy. Story 5. I genuinely hope I'm allowed to share this. It's my appropriate response to your question. You're going to love it. Please let me know what you think. Story 6. To be honest, in the beginning, I disliked her because she felt like an extra responsibility. Now she is my little monster baby girl, and I am honored to nurture and care for her. She is really teaching me how to be a responsible caregiver. I am not as selfish as I was in the past. Story 7. I love my dog like he's my furry little soulmate. He may be as clueless as a rock, but he has saved my sanity more times than I can count. Story 8. Dog 1 to 3, the best. Dog 4. I really hope he isn't the worst forever. Cat 1. I'm pretty sure he's Satan in a costume. Cat 2. She's alright. Story 9. My cat is the love of my life. I would give anything to have her with me throughout my life. The thought of saying goodbye to her one day saddens me deeply. Story 10. She's incredibly intelligent but acts like she's daft. I swear this dog knows English and how to spell because no matter how quickly or slowly I speak, or if I spell a word like snack, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. If I bribe her with a treat to do something but I don't follow through or forget, she throws a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old. However, she has a deep understanding. When I'm sad or upset, I don't have to say a word. She just knows something is wrong and comes for a cuddle to cheer me up. So, on one hand, I sometimes wonder if a mothership dropped off a chimp in a chihuahua suit. But on the other, I love her fiercely and would protect her from anyone who dared to hurt her. Story 11. They are my pets. Usually more dependable than the two-legged ones. Unfortunately, I have to let them go soon. One has bad arthritis and the other has lymphoma. This is going to be very difficult for me. Story 12. I love my cat. She probably saved me in some way. I struggled with depression, and since I got her, things are a lot better. I can finally keep my house clean, not just for me, but for her. Story 13. I love my cat to the moon and back. I also love my dog very much, but I secretly love my cat a little bit more. Story 14. I had to have my dog put to sleep 2 weeks ago unexpectedly. He was my best friend, and I still tear up thinking about it today. I have loved all of my pets. Story 15. My cats are perfect little angels, and I'm obsessed with them. My parents' dogs are tiny, vile, and disgusting creatures. Story 16. I have 2 cats, and they are the best of both worlds. One doesn't want anything to do with me unless she is hungry, while the other is the epitome of don't mind me. I'm just going to scooch in right here. I love them both to the end of the world, but they have polar opposite personalities. Story 17. He is a difficult person, a menace, and a criminal mastermind currently training the 2 newest recruits in the ways of mischief. But he is also my little baby, and I love him. Story 18. I can love any animal, but it's also from almost a godly perspective. No, I mean more like the chief of a hospital. I am very concerned about their health, but death doesn't bother me. It's the circle of life. I will do my part for their health and safety, but not to the point where the dog or cat stops being the animal they are, like keeping them caged up when they want to be free, similar to how a wildlife conservationist would approach things. I take care of 2 cats and a dog. I have had cats all my life and carry food in my car for when I stay away from home. I have also fostered kittens and nursed sick and abandoned ones back to health. I quite enjoy that responsibility. One of my cats is 14 years old, and she is very calm. The other cat I found around 7 months ago. He had a necrotic paw with dead tissue and no toes. I took him in, nursed him back to health, which cost me a significant amount of money, including the spaying. Since no one else took him in, he is mine now. But if I were Thanos and had the Infinity Gauntlet, I would snap the dog away. What an annoying creature. I have never had a more stubborn, resistant to learning, and terrified of its own shadow dog. It has really tested my patience and soured my experience of having a dog. Never again. Story 19. I love my little man so much. I adopted him as a kitten during the pandemic, and it's the best decision I've ever made. It was so much better having him around during lockdown, and he has helped me through a really difficult breakup. I know I will be so upset when I lose him. He is sleeping next to me now, and I am tearing up just thinking about that inevitability. Story 20. My dog is one of the reasons I get out of bed in the morning. No matter how bad my day at work was or what is going on in my life, when I drive home from work, I am in a good mood because I know I am about to see him. Story 21. I have never felt unconditional love from anyone except my niece and my cats. It is a bond that anchors your soul. Story 22. I wish I had cool pets like dogs and cats. Instead of these 2 guinea pigs the kids promised to clean up after and feed. Story 23. I have a 6-month-old boxer puppy, and she is an absolute joy to me. My husband doesn't agree. We also have 3 cats, a 7-year-old and twin 1-year-olds. Seeing how they all interact is so much fun. I adore them. When they pass, I will grieve. I got my first tattoo at 40 after our 16-year-old cat died. I'm planning to find a tattoo artist who can do amazing work for black cats to commemorate my 20-year-old cat who passed away a couple of years ago. Life wouldn't be as enjoyable without them. My kids love them dearly, too. They've sadly had to deal with 4 cats passing in their lives so far, and the eldest is only 12. The puppy is their first dog and also my husband's first dog. I've always had a dog in my life. I missed having one while we lived somewhere I couldn't have a boxer. Moving and being able to finally get my girl has been amazing. Story 24. I feel guilty leaving him home alone when I go to work. He hates being alone, and he lets me know he is upset when I get back. My kitty is my best friend. I will be very upset when he passes away. Story 25. I have had my beagle for 8 of his 10 years. He is my best friend and, aside from my wife, the closest family member. I would be significantly more devastated over his passing than most people I know if they passed. Story 26. I adore my cats. They confuse me from time to time by being absolute characters, but that's part of the charm. Story 27. Our rescue dog is nearly 10 years old and has tumors all over her body. She is mostly Labrador, and these lumps are common in older Labradors, but I have had many dogs growing up. She is moving slower and is simply getting old. I don't think she has more than a few years left, and it breaks my heart. I am married, and we have a 4-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. Losing a pet is really hard, and I know this will be the hardest yet with having children now. I think about it often and pray she passes peacefully in her sleep when it is her time to go. But that almost never happens. I am not prepared to deal with this. Story 28. Cat is most likely autistic. She can't meow but tries anyway. She is spoiled and acts like a kitten, even though she is 8 years old. I would do anything for her. Story 29. My cat is my child, and I see him as an adorable being with fur, not just a pet. Being an animal is beneath him. Oh, he also speaks. When I hear statements like artificial intelligence will harm us all in 5 years, my first thought is that at least I'll get to face it with my buddy. Story 30. Love the little one. Now that she is beginning to transition into a seizure-alert dog, that connection and dependence is growing stronger. Story 31. She is my everything and my baby. I started crying in therapy the other week just over the thought of losing her. She is nearly 11, and it is probably the biggest fear in my life. Story 32. I love both of them deeply. Our dog has been with us since I met my wife, who adopted him almost 7 years ago, and he is about as good a dog as you can ask for. We adopted our tripod cat in November of last year, and unfortunately, our dog has become extremely jealous. Even though the amount of attention, treats, and so on has not changed, We now have to close both bathroom doors when we leave for work, as he will otherwise get into the trash cans and scatter things all over the floor. It's almost impossible to pay attention to the cat because whenever we call for her, he immediately gets up and comes over, which discourages her from coming near. I'll always love him, and none of this makes him a bad dog, but he has been irritating lately with his jealousy. Story 33. I absolutely love my dog so much. He's like my child, my fur baby, my sidekick. He means everything to me. I would definitely go full John Wick if anything happened to him. He's a Chihuahua and Pomeranian mix, I think. He reminds me of a little wolf and has the personality of Master Sherfu most of the time. He is the oldest of my 3 dogs. I've had him for about 6.5 years now. The other 2 belong to my brother and his partner. One is a pit bull and Labrador mix, the other is a full Labrador. It's amusing to watch how he interacts with them. I just heard him growling at one of them as I typed this. No, but seriously, if there is anyone in my life that I can talk about so passionately, it would be my dog because he is the best. He's been with me everywhere and through everything, and he plays a huge part in my life. Story 34. Right on the front door, I have a sign that reads, "My dogs are better behaved than your kids. Much more worthwhile and reason to feed than any Democrat. We independents sided with the right last election because of what they have become. My dogs are much more sane, intelligent, and civilized, even the pit bull bred for fighting. He came to live with us when the neighbor decided to kill my mini mutt just to be cruel. It was a tiny 10-pound dog, and she poisoned it out of malice. There is no reason to ever forgive or forget. She even abuses her own dogs. Anyone who thinks I support the Make America Great Again movement just because I despise Democrats is making assumptions. I have disliked Democrats since the last century. Living in a blue state is why I have multiple dogs. They also fend off the Democrats while I prepare my defense." Story 35. Best friend's 3 cats always need to go to the vet at the most inconvenient times, both in terms of time and money. Are you looking to buy some new clothes or electronics? Sure enough, there goes the €300 vet expense. Car breaks down. Need a new mode of transport? You guessed it, vet expense. Have to be away for weeks? You need someone to babysit, and believe it or not, vet expense. Pets are ridiculously expensive when you care about their well-being, and they are part of the family. Examples of vet visits outside of routine checkups and vaccinations include struvite stones, bladder blocked by stones, GU surgery for stones, lily poisoning, requiring an overnight stay with charcoal and water administered, bites from other animals, broken leg, broken tail, fever, gastrointestinal stress which can cause diarrhea and/or vomiting for days, infection. Story 36. It depends on the pets. We have 2 dogs and 3 cats. Our older shelter dog has been with us for 8 years. She's a part of the family at this point. The younger dog is a 2-year-old Great Dane, and he is my husband's dog. I like him, but honestly, I believe both he and we would be better off separately. He's very high energy and too large for me to walk safely on my own beyond the end of our street, and my husband works long hours. The poor puppy spends most of his time indoors, bored out of his mind, because we don't have a fenced yard. I love him, and it's because of my love for him that I think we should find him a new home. As for the 3 cats, it's similar. Our neutered male is a lazy couch potato, a perfect fit for our lifestyle. Our spayed female is a stray that showed up under my car. She has a mild deformity and is a bit spicy with absolutely everyone but me. I've formed a special bond with her and feel that she would be euthanized in a shelter, so it's best to keep her. I'd consider rehoming her if she were ever capable of getting along with anyone else. She was already spayed when we found her, so I think she was someone's house pet who became too spicy with a child. That is my theory. The other spayed female is the sweetest, prettiest, tiniest, and least intelligent cat in existence. Everyone falls in love with her the moment they meet her. We have too many pets, and she would find a loving home easily, so I think we should also rehome her. Unfortunately, my husband has made it clear that if any pets go, I go with them. So I guess we're stuck with an irresponsible number of pets that I'm the primary caregiver for. Honestly, I used to love all pets and thought I wanted to run my own rescue. After living for a few years with this many in less than ideal circumstances, I never want to own an animal again in my life. It's so much responsibility and makes many things harder than they need to be. Every time we want to go on vacation, we have to pay an extra substantial amount to board everyone. If we take a day out, we're really limited by the time the dogs can spend in their kennels, and it's expensive to provide proper veterinary care for them all. I just feel like everyone, including most of the pets, would be happier in a different arrangement. Story 37. I enjoy every moment I have with my cats. I feel like royalty when they allow me to pet them or when they lay on me to sleep. Story 38. I adore my dogs. They have brought so much color and love to my life. I think I tell each of them how much I love them at least 100 times a day. Still, it doesn't feel like enough. Story 39. I love all my pets. They are my best friends. I have 3 cats and a snake. With that being said, we have one cat who is unique. He is an orange tabby named Cheese. His brother, Macaroni, passed away 2 years ago. Cheese is aggressively affectionate and demands your love. I enjoy paying attention to my cats, but he only operates on his terms. Sometimes I go into the office just to get away from Cheese because he will demand my affection in the middle of meetings. He also has the most unpleasant rear end of any animal I have ever met. When he demands affection, it is usually by showing his rear end to you. He is proud of his dingleberries. Story 40. My current cat is my sole companion. I have had many cats before him whom I have loved, but the bond we share is something special. He is 18 now and starting to show it, which makes my heart ache. I am not sure I will ever find another like him. Story 41. I don't see any purpose in living apart from taking care of them. I am responsible for their well-being and would consider it the saddest thing of my life if I leave before they do. I would be extremely grateful for the opportunity to care for each of them until the end of their lives. Story 42. I always had dogs as a child and teenager. In my adult life, I adopted a female stray cat. She is very attached to me, sits only on my clothes, follows me everywhere, calls me to sleep, and asks for food and water only from me. I treat her as a pet, not as a child or a person. I love her, but not in the same way I love my children or my partner. Because of her age, I am aware that I will probably outlive her, so I am prepared for her eventual passing. Story 43. My dog is the pinnacle of all dogs. He is perfect, and I tell him 10 times a day that I am so lucky he is my dog. I know everyone says their dog is special, but others also comment on how special he is. He is the cutest, most loving, quirky, friendly, and smart dog I have ever encountered. He is literally the reason I am alive today. Story 44. Dog. I love him. Cat 1. He's cute, but he doesn't like to be held. We are acquaintances. Cat 2. He's a jerk. He can run away anytime he wants. Story 45. My tabby cat walked into my life 11 years ago. I was in the basement with the door open when he sauntered up to me, and that was that. I love him so much. It's hard to explain. Story 46. I have 2 dogs with very different personalities, and they are the biggest, goofiest, most loving little companions on the planet. Story 47. They are the best and certainly better than most people I know. I'd say that all but my husband are awesome individuals. My furry therapy cat cuddles make my day. They know when I'm stressed and come to me until I pick them up, and they purr the stress away. They have a delightful scent. I'm completely enamored with my cat. Story 48. At one time, I felt like he was one of my children. He would do things I didn't like. Now that he is 17, he feels more like an elderly parent, and the dynamics have changed. He is part of the family. Story 49. My 3 dogs are like my children, and they are spoiled. Getting home from work is the highlight of my day. There are dog cushions and toys all over the house for them. My wife once asked me what I would do if the house was on fire. I said I would get the dogs out, and she replied, "What about me?" I responded, "You can look after yourself." Sorry, my love, but the dogs come first. Story 50. They make my bad days so much better. Just one cuddle or soft purr is enough to lift my mood instantly. Story 51. Right now, I am feeling a lot of regret. I have a long-haired Chihuahua. He is very sweet, affectionate, and so loyal and devoted to me, and I am happy for that. However, with his long hair, when he urinates, it sticks to the hair around his genital area and clumps together, turning green. This must be very uncomfortable for him, and I do not want him to get urinary infections, so I need to clean him every few days. He also urinates on his feet, so I have to clean his feet too. When he defecates, it sticks to the hair around his rear. Sometimes it can be brushed out, but most times I need to bathe him and scrub it out. I had his fur trimmed short around his groin, and I will need to start trimming the fur around his rear as well. Before I got him, I actually wanted a toy poodle, but I did not want the extra expense and upkeep of grooming. My Chihuahua often smells and sheds a lot, and I think maybe I should have gotten the poodle I wanted. Story 52. I'm not sure. He looks at me funny sometimes, and I think he's plotting. I know he talks about me behind my back, but then he cuddles up next to me and acts all affectionate. You really can't trust German Shepherds, so the jury is still out on this one. He's only 6 months old, so I might have a different answer in a year or so. Story 53. Technically, they are the family cats, but I have not been able to see them in 3 years due to a medical condition, and I miss them very much, especially my favorite. I hope I can see them soon. I truly love them. Story 54. My husky mix is the most loving, gentle, hyper, and unpredictable gremlin monster I have ever met. I would cast him into the sun only to build a rocket ship and bring him back. He drives me insane, and I love him immeasurably. Story 55. My cat's job is to watch over my mother and keep her company. However, my dog's job is to find every piece of urine in the neighborhood. He runs ahead of me, especially at night, and claims any piece of horse manure he finds. He cries like I'm going to war if he's not with me every 5 minutes. I love Mr. Stinky. Story 56. I'm so terrified that my dog is around 14 years old and we don't have much time left together that I would like to clone her, if I could, and spend many more years together again. I'm not sure I could survive her death without having a heart attack. Story 57. I love my cats, and they love me. When I am sick, they come and sit with me. I want to protect them and make them happy. Losing them is very hard. There are epitaphs for pet dogs from Roman times, and here is one of the most famous. I am in tears while carrying you to your last resting place, as much as I rejoiced when bringing you home in my own hands 15 years ago. Story 58. Our dog passed away last year at 14. Rather than get another, we now host dogs for people when they travel. Every time a new guest arrives, we fondly remember Kaiser. We also have 2 cats. One is a very affectionate and outgoing male who loves to be outside stirring up trouble. The other is Tango's older sister, who is very shy and retiring. Both cats were born feral. Story 59. My boy turned 11 this weekend. Honestly, I am surprised he is still alive after all he went through. I would do anything for my dapper tuxedo boy. I have had him since I was 19. He has been there for my entire adult life. He survived a tail amputation, a stomach operation that almost killed him, and a spleen removal due to cancer. He is still jumping around, playing, and cuddling. He is the best elderly young man around. Story 60. The greatest realization during the pandemic is that I was putting myself in a box. Before, I was so scared of cats, but that changed when I experienced taking care of a stray cat. I labeled myself as a dog person without even having experienced owning a cat. Long story short, I love both, but I am more fascinated by cats because of their way of living. They are independent, know what they want and don't want, and are quiet yet quite smart. Story 61. I spent the last 2 months traveling for work, and now I am in Asia for 3 weeks for a friend's wedding. I feel like a terrible dog owner. I will take him to the beach when I get home. Story 62. I loved them both while they were alive, and I still love them now that they are gone. I keep them with me in my heart and will continue to until we meet again. Story 63. I loved them as kittens, but I hated them when they started urinating on things. I loved the one I had neutered and disliked the one that I didn't neuter. I know I will love the one I dislike now when he is neutered on the 23rd. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.